how to remove and install the potentiometer for the color change mechanism. Basically, this is the potentiometer. This is what tells the machine in what needle the sewing head is on the machine. So if you're needle number 8, this is what tells the computer that the sewing head is at needle number 8. And how does it work? Basically through this dial right here. This dial moves with the gear. When the motor moves the gear, this dial moves with the gear, and right here it's sending the signal to the computer. Basically it tells where it's the needle in the sewing head and the embroidery machine. So to expose the potentiometer, basically we need to remove this cover right here. And there is the potentiometer right here. The machine is off right now. So in order to have more space right here, I'm going to move the sewing head to needle number 15 so I can have more room. Right now I'm in 14, and this bracket right here, the screw, has been exposed in this machine. I don't know if you can see it right there. You can see this little screw right there. So that will be very helpful in that position so we can remove the potentiometer. So this is the potentiometer right here, and this is the cable. So this is a good thing about the red line. We have the connectors right here, so it will be very easy to remove the potentiometer and put the new one back again. So basically you need to use a 4mm Allen wrench in order to remove the potentiometer. So basically what we do first is to disconnect the cable. The cable of the potentiometer has been disconnected, obviously with the embroidery machine off. We are going to loosen this screw right here. So I'm going to loosen right here this screw. Once it's loosened, you can pull out the potentiometer. And that's it. That's basically it. Now to install the potentiometer back again, you need to turn on the machine. But first, before you turn it on, you need to connect the potentiometer. Before you install it, you have to connect the potentiometer. We need to turn on the embroidery machine. Okay, once you have connected your potentiometer right here, and you can see it's detecting needle 14. So if I move the dial of the potentiometer, you can see that it changes. Now I'm in 15. So I'm going to move it counterclockwise to go to 14, and then 13, and then 12, 11, 10. Very gentle, you have to move the dial very gentle. 9, 8. I always recommend to install the potentiometer on needle number 8 because it's the center of the sewing head. In this case we got a sewing head for 50 needles, so the middle is number 8. So we put our number 8, and then you have to put the number 8 right there. So our potentiometer is detecting number 8, computer is number 8, but right now our sewing head, I move it to needle number 1. So right now it's at needle number 1. So what I have to do is I have to move the sewing head to needle 8. So that way it will match with our potentiometer and our computer basically. So I will move my block knob. You cannot do it with the computer obviously because you don't have the potentiometer installed, so you have to do it manually. There we go. And we need to make sure that is on the center, the needle, it's on the center of the hole. So there is in the center, my needle right now is at the center of the hole of the needle plate, and my potentiometer detects needle 8. So I want to move the potentiometer a little bit, just 0, 0, and then I'm going to put half on needle 8. There we go. Okay, before we install our potentiometer, we make sure that our needle, it's on the center of the needle, of the hole of the needle plate. We have calibrate the potentiometer with the computer number 8. We got our sewing head at needle number 8 with the center of the needle into the hole of the needle plate. This bracket, we need to make sure to put it where we can tighten the screw. Okay, so right now it's on needle number 8, and then since it's on needle number 8, what we're going to do is we're going to insert this dial inside this hole right here, and when we tighten this bracket, it will going to put pressure on this dial. So let's do it. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tighten the screw. Okay. Now we have to test to see if it's properly installed, basically. Now, how do we know if the potentiometer has been installed properly? Well, basically you load manually the block knob, you load the needle, and it has to be right there at the center of the hole of the needle plate. Okay, next you're going to move the block knob of the color change counterclockwise to see a little bit, just a little bit. You see my needle still on the hole, and I have 0 on my computer. So that means that it's okay. Basically, the needle has to still be at the hole of the needle plate, not outside. We have to have 0 outside, inside in the hole of the needle plate. So I want to move to the other side, to the left side. Right now, right there, I have 0 and the needle still at the hole of the needle plate. Okay, so if I put it at the center, in the center you have number 8. That it's a perfect alignment. Okay, so once you have verified the needle that it's on the center of the hole of the needle plate, and you got a number 8 right there, you have verified everything that it's properly installed. Basically, you do a test. You press the 3 needle icon and go to needle number 1. Just see if it goes to needle number 1. You can load the needle and verify if you are at the hole of the needle plate, basically at the center of the needle plate. Once you confirm it, you do 100, and then you can move again to 15. And you do the same thing. go. 100, and then we put it in number 8. Everything seems to be okay. And make sure you tight the bracket, and then after that you place back the cover, you put the 2 screws on top, you tie them up, and you are done.